Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in and making GPS a part of your afternoon routine. So today is Wednesday, and every Wednesday we call it a Wellness Wednesday here on GPS, where we talk about a matter that is of importance to your health. And so we're going to continue with that tradition today. Before we dive in, I'm going to put up the telephone numbers and ways that you can be a part of the show. The numbers to call: 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 801-0271. 801-0271. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm Facebook page, as well as the official Global 99.5 FM page. We're also streaming live to our YouTube channels. And you can also catch us on Total Bahamas Channel 974. Download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device, and definitely check us out there. And last but by no means least, a huge welcome to all of you who are tuned in by way of radio. 99.5 FM on the dial here in New Providence, and also those of you listening in from Grand Bahama, the Family Islands, and anywhere across the world. Thank you for making GPS a part of your afternoon routine. So, what are we talking about on this Wellness Wednesday? Well, this show is going to be dealing today with something that unfortunately has been getting more and more negative attention. And I'm calling this show today, You Don't Have to Die to Get Looks to Die For. What do I mean by that? You know, back in the day, if you wanted to achieve a particular look, and it's something that you could have changed naturally, that would have been the way to go. So if your stomach was not as flat as you wanted it to be, you exercise, you change your diet, whatever, and you work to get the stomach off. Those of you who had, premature graying or whatever, you would go to the hairdresser, I guess put a color in your hair to get the color off. But nowadays, most people don't want to go through all of that just to get the look that they want, when they could easily walk into the office of a plastic surgeon or some other um, professional look and a professional, I should say, and get the look that they want in a fraction of the time. It's going to cost them, but they don't have to go through the weeks that it would take to do it naturally. Now, unfortunately, nowadays, we've seen case after case after case where it's not just costing them money, but in some cases, it's costing them their lives. People are actually dying at the hands of some of these plastic surgery centers or cosmetic or aesthetic or cosmetic surgeons, whatever you want to call them. Because some of these procedures have become that dangerous, where you could walk in there, a healthy person, but leave in a box. One of the procedures that is becoming increasingly dangerous, or I mean, it's just happening too frequently, is a procedure called a Brazilian butt lift. It's amazing how culture changes over time, because I remember when I was younger, I remember particularly when I went off to school. I studied in the United States. Um, and I remember the white girls in particular used to be upset that their butt wasn't flat enough. And they would be, oh my goodness, I gained a couple of pounds and now I got to get rid of this butt. And I, as a black girl, would be looking at them and saying to myself, you need a butt. But, but the culture of the day is that that was frowned upon, particularly in the Caucasian community. And then came this lady called Jennifer Lopez. Back in the day, Jennifer Lopez was not as big a star as she is today, but she was one of the dancers who appeared on a hit comedy show by the Wayans brothers. I'm trying to remember the name of that show. And Jennifer popularized the butt amongst white girls. All of a sudden, Caucasians wanted to have this rounder butt. And then we saw other Caucasian celebrities. I guess Jennifer started it, but the people who really took it over the edge were the Kardashians. Kim Kardashian and her sisters. And they came out with these huge round butts like a black girl. And they wore the corsets or whatever to get these tiny, tiny waistlines. And so they really popularized this glass bottle shape where you had these, really small waistlines and these big black girl butts. Now all of a sudden, it's popular to have a round butt, what the white girls back in the day when I was in college would be depressed over if they had. It's amazing how things change. So that popularized a procedure called the Brazilian butt lift, where surgeons, and this is just one example we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be talking about other things as well, but where these cosmetic surgeons would suck out the fat from certain areas of your body, like your thighs, your stomach, your back, wherever there's excess fat. They would suck it out with liposuction. And then they would inject that fat into the butt area to plump it up. But the problem is, some of them, whether by inexperience or otherwise, ended up compromising the lives of their clients because they would inject this fat into areas where fat is not supposed to be injected, like in the muscles. And once the fat got into the muscles, then that causes domino effect of health problems that rapidly could cause a person's death. Now, the Dominican Republic got a really bad rap for being a place where a lot of women, black and white, amazingly, even black girls doing this foolishness now, where people would go there because it's cheaper. They find these clinics online where they say get a BBL and it only costs you this. They go and end up losing their lives. But it's not just happening in the Dominican Republic. Even cases have come up in the United States where people have lost their lives trying to achieve a particular look that they could have easily done so had they just put a little effort into it. So here now is a clip about these BBL deaths, particularly some that have occurred in the United States.
Any comment today? How are you feeling?
You guys want to say anything? It's over. That's it.
Dr. Joseph Castellano walked out of the Florida Board of Medicine meeting after a disciplinary hearing regarding the death of a patient under his care. He settled his case, agreeing never to do another Brazilian butt lift procedure. 35-year-old Audrey Torres, a single mother who lived with her 23-month-old son in Waimama, died after she went to the Castellano Cosmetic Surgery Center in February 2020 to get a Brazilian butt lift. Neither her family nor their lawyers can discuss the case because her estate sued Dr. Castellano and agreed to a confidentiality agreement as part of a $250,000 malpractice settlement, money that will go to support her son. Dr. Castellano advertised Brazilian butt lifts, or BBLs, on his website.
This patient here, we're liposuctioning her abdomen, love handles, back, inner, outer thighs, and then we're transferring it all to her butt.
That procedure was performed in 2016. Torres's BBL surgery took place on the morning of Thursday, February 20th, 2020 at Castellano's clinic on MacDill Avenue. According to a health department complaint, complications developed during Torres's surgery, and she was taken to the hospital where she died. An autopsy revealed she died of fat emboli, which is when particles of fat enter the bloodstream and block circulation. As part of his settlement with the Board of Medicine, Dr. Castellano will receive a letter of concern, pay a $10,000 fine and investigative costs, complete 5 hours of continuing education, and will be permanently restricted from doing Brazilian butt lifts. Castellano declined an on-camera interview but said in an email, "I cannot comment to the patient's extenuating circumstances, but I do deny all liability in this case."
With the BBL, the main risk that has caused death has been the pulmonary fat embolism.
Dr. Thomas Su is a cosmetic surgeon who owns the Artistic Lipo Cosmetic Surgery Center in Tampa and specializes in liposuction. He's not involved in Dr. Castellano's case, but he has been closely following the reports about an uptick in BBL deaths in Florida.
These are preventable deaths in your mind, it sounds
Yes,
like.
I think it's very preventable. If you inject fat into the butt muscle, the gluteal muscle, there are large veins there that if the fat were to get into it, goes right to the heart and lungs and can kill you very quickly.
That's what the state believed happened to Torres, citing evidence Castellano injected fat into her muscle in violation of a health department rule passed a year earlier. That rule came after multiple surgical associations issued a warning in 2018 that BBLs had a mortality rate of 1 in 3,000, greater than any other cosmetic surgery. But a recent study showed that after the Florida Department of Health rule went into effect, neither procedures nor deaths declined.
Definitely the number of BBLs per year has been increasing very rapidly.
Is Florida the BBL capital of the United States?
I would say absolutely it is.
The epicenter is South Florida, where you can find dozens of clinics, many located in strip malls offering plastic surgery procedures at discounted rates. A report from the Aesthetic Surgery Journal published this year said 25 women have died from complications related to BBLs in South Florida since 2010. 92% of those deaths occurred in low-budget, high-volume clinics.
These large clinics, which are high volume, oftentimes require their physicians, their surgeons, to perform 10 to 12 BBLs in a day.
Many patients come from out of town, lured by online marketing and low prices. We found BBLs in Miami advertised online for less than $3,000. Dr. Sue says that's a fraction of the cost of the procedure at a traditional cosmetic surgery center.
Don't budget shop your surgery. You do get what you pay for it, and that just invites a lot of risk if you're doing that.
Well, here's the thing. I don't understand how we've come to the place. I know that this is a microwave generation and they want everything fast. They don't want to go through the process for anything nowadays. Everything is like instant. You know, microwave, fast. But how have we come to the place where, as opposed to putting in the work, a couple of weeks even, it won't even take that long, you would rather put your life at risk to go get this procedure done. And in many cases, only because you are being influenced by stuff you see on TV. You're watching the Kardashians, if you see the big butt, and you figure, I want that big butt too, and I want to fill out these jeans, and as opposed to just go doing some squats and lunges and other exercises that could get that rounded butt for you. In a couple of weeks, you decide to put your life on the line to go and get a BBL, because that's what you're doing, especially if you go to cheap route. And a lot of times we're seeing these young women with young children, families, who are literally dying to get looks to die for. And I know, pun intended. It's crazy. So this show today is going to be talking about things that you can do naturally so that you don't have to go under the knife, if not necessary, to achieve the types of looks that you want. You know, I just thought it was necessary to do this because some of you may know somebody who decided to go get a tummy tuck or something and had major complications or died from it. You may know somebody who died as a result of trying to get a BBL. Or if you don't know somebody personally, you may have heard of some famous person who died on an operating table or on the table of a cosmetic surgeon for something that should have been a simple procedure. Remember Joan Rivers, the comedian? She died at the hands of a team at a cosmetic enhancement center because of negligence, because they would have kept her under too long. I can't remember all of the details of her case, but she required some general anesthesia, I believe. Whatever it was, they didn't pay close enough attention to her breathing at the time she was under, and it ended up killing her. All of that to look good. When even things like a sagging skin, or, you know, the older you get this turkey neck, or the neck that doesn't look as youthful as it can. All of these things can be dealt with without going under the knife. And so for those of us especially who have been younger longer and want to find a way to not give in to Father Time as quickly as, we don't have to. And we're trying to fight against this, this aging, this premature aging. And I say premature because, shoot, I look at people like Angela Bassett and Jada Pinkett's mother and many others who are in their 70s and 80s and look like they're in their 30s and 40s. No joke. They put girls half their age to shame because they would have put in the effort to look younger and to stay vibrant. So I say that to say that you don't have to just say, oh, well, this is my lot in life, either go under the knife or start to look. No, you could fight against that thing. I mean, it is what it is. The longer you live, the more your body will naturally age. But it's not to say that without some effort, you can't slow down that aging process. Effort and nutrition. Effort and nutrition. Effort and nutrition will work wonders in helping you to turn back the hands of time as it relates to your appearance. I'm telling you. People say to me all the time, oh, Michelle, you've aged so well. You don't look your age. And I'm like, y'all think this is by osmosis? Y'all think this just happened? I'm working hard at this. I'm making sure I get my nutrients. I have not gone under the knife, nor do I intend to go under the knife anytime soon. But my hair is not great because I'm taking certain nutrients. And I just came across an app a couple of days ago where you can do exercises, yoga exercises for your face and your neck area. I'm about to start doing that because, quite frankly, I'm not happy with the way my neck looks. So do I go and get a facelift and get somebody to have to? No, I ain't going to do that because there are ways that you can deal with this naturally. And if you come across somebody who looks really, really old, it's because they have neglected their bodies or their bodies have been ravaged by disease or both. I was out with a friend the other day and I came across one of my schoolmates. And the person was like, hey, Michelle, how you doing? I was like, hey, man, I've been seeing you in a long time. Boy, was I surprised with what I saw. And as we walked away, I said to the person who was with me, that person and I went to school together. And they were like, you're kidding me, right? I said, no, we went to school together. We graduated the same year. And the person with me is like, no, man, you can't be serious. That person looks like they could be in the age set with your parents. I said, yep. He said, well, I said, pure neglect. Either neglect, lack of nutrition, disease, or all of the above. You don't have to just give in. You don't have to look like the Crypt Keeper. And for those of you who don't know who the Crypt Keeper is, I tend to like to watch vintage TV, right? One of the television shows that I used to like to watch back in the day was supposed to be a horror series, but it was more funny than anything else. It's called Tales from the Crypt. And he used to have this creature called the Crypt Keeper. Man, the Crypt Keeper was Marsh Raider. The Crypt Keeper looked pretty bad. Well, Crypt Keeper had apparently been dead for a couple hundred years, but it's a horror series. But it was more funny to me than anything else. I used to get some good laughs off of that series. But if anybody tells you look like the Crypt Keeper, that's fighting words. If you see anybody walking around looking like the Crypt Keeper, pure neglect or lack of nutrition or disease. It does not have to be that way. So, Claudette, let me tell you a little something, Claudette. Claudette says, I love my butt the way God created it. As a matter of fact, I love the way God created it. Let me give you a little secret, Claudette. As you grow older, you lose your butt. That's something I never thought I could lose. Never thought I could lose my butt because I did have a butt back in the day. Now my butt's starting to look like them white girls' butt in college. I'm like, what? What? No. All I gotta do is start exercising again. That's all. And do specific exercises to put that thing back up. And your body responds. But if you neglect it, but yeah, Claudia, the older you get, the more you lose certain things, just naturally. But that's not to say that you can't get it back. You just got to work at it. And the older you get, the harder it gets. You got to put in more effort. Yeah, Chad, Claudia says, I will work naturally to lift it. The thing is, don't wait till you get older and then you look in the mirror one day and you realize it's gone. Start working on it when you're young. If I had known better, I would have been taking better care of my neck and my upper chest area from the time when I didn't have an issue with the way it looked. Because if I had done that, and this is a word to the wise to all you younger ladies who don't have this problem as yet, start working on it now. And that way you won't develop the problem of that, creepy looking neck or that turkey neck or whatever. Don't wait until you get to it and then look in the mirror one day and realize, OMG. If you start working on it while you're young, making sure that this whole area is moisturized and well taken care of, then you won't have a problem when you get older. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to take a break, and then when we come back on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about how you can take care of mostly things like loose skin, which is why you get certain things like wrinkles in certain areas or your jawline changes or whatever, or especially if you were heavy and you lost a lot of weight quickly, you end up with a lot of loose skin. So we're going to talk about how to reverse these aesthetic issues but naturally, so you don't have to go under the knife and put your life at risk. You don't have to die to get a look to die for. That's our show today, so that's what we're going to be talking about, and we'll have more on that on the other side of the break. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder, to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company on this Wellness Wednesday. The telephone numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and for calls or messages on WhatsApp, it's area code 242-801-0271, 801-0271. We're streaming live to Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. Please like and share the show if you haven't already done so. Also streaming live to YouTube on our official channels. And speaking of channels, we're coming to you on Cable Bahamas channel 974. You can also download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device. Check us out there. And of course, we're on radio, 99.5 FM on the dial here in Providence. Also coming to you by way of radio in Grand Bahama. And thank you to everybody throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and around the world who are tuned into GPS. Appreciate you being here. Okay, we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Michelle.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm okay. This is healthy Wednesday, right?
Yes, Wellness Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah, Michelle, I mean, like, are you healthy, right? But then there's never you talk about healthy people as they age, they getting ugly. They getting ugly and ugly. I don't want to look in the mirror. I break all my red road away, Michelle. Really help me, Michelle.
I never said anybody gets ugly as they get older. Stop putting words in my mouth. If you
No. I say me. Michelle, it says me.
What'd you call ugly?
I say no one else. Huh?
What'd you call ugly?
I know you.
Why are you saying you're getting uglier?
Because I can see for myself, Michelle. I throw away all the mirrors and things inside my house, you know.
So what do you mean by ugly?
All the shiny things so they can see myself back in, I put cloud over. I don't want to see ugly. It's ugly. It's get ugly, Michelle.
Okay,
I mean,
caller.
like,
You think you're gonna waste my time on this show today, right?
no, Michelle, why you saying that?
Because I don't know what you mean by ugly. I'm asking you, what do you mean by
Okay,
ugly?
ugly means that I remember when I used to look handsome and now I ain't handsome no more. That's what I mean. Ugly. Ugly then. You know what ugly mean, right?
Hold on, let me get back to my topic here. You and my name.
I beg about Michelle. Michelle, what I mean, like this healthy Wednesday, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about things that you can do naturally, as
To be
opposed to
healthy.
going under the knife
Ah.
to improve your appearance. That's what I'm talking about on the show today. So let me
Yeah,
get off my show.
same thing, Michelle, man. So in essence, I make you eat wrong.
So if you listen, you learn how you can reverse your ugliness. Then just keep listening, please.
I can't get no pills. The pretty
You
pills.
can't get no what?
The pretty pills. What someone sent me some pretty pills you could take. It make you pretty back again.
Jason, cut this person, please. I'm trying to be serious on this show. And I know, sometimes you think you're funny, but you're not that funny. Stick to your day job, okay? Don't try to be a comedian while you're running up my dime on this show. Because I have some specific information that I would like to get out. And you, once again, if you are the person I think you are, you're running out. And while you're running out, you're taking up time, eating up precious time. So let's get back to the matter at hand. The matter at hand we're discussing today is you don't have to die for looks to die for. In other words, you don't have to go under the knife, put your life at risk, end up with complications. In some cases, there's a show that airs on cable about botched surgeries where these people, oh my God, some of those people, I mean, they go to these cosmetic surgeon places and get these procedures done, and then years later they got to go back to somebody to fix the damage that's been done to their body because their bodies are so, they've been physically scarred or, all kind of other stuff going on in their bodies because the doctors that they went to didn't know what they were doing or were careless or for whatever reason. And I'm thinking to myself, you ain't had to be going through that. If you had just taken the time to work on yourself naturally. And listen, if you are a person who has decided to have cosmetic surgery, let's say you didn't like your nose and you decided to change your nose, I ain't hating on you. That's your prerogative. Okay? I'm not hating on you at all. I mean, look at that Jenna girl. She's making millions of dollars now off of her looks. And if you look at her vintage photos, she don't look nothing like she looked back then. But she is now, what, a billionaire? From her enhanced looks. So if you choose to go the route of cosmetic surgery, I don't want you to think that this show is hating on you. I'm not trying to hate on you at all. I'm just saying that there are certain things that you can do for certain looks that you're trying to achieve that you don't have to put your life at risk to achieve. You can do these things and accomplish the same thing naturally. And I am also not trying to hate on anybody who has chosen to age naturally, because that's the route I've decided to go. I've never had any kind of cosmetic surgery done in my life, and I don't intend to have any done. I just know that you can achieve these things by taking better care of yourself. I will use your hair color, for example. A lot of people say, oh, I like my gray hair. I think it's, especially men, oh, I think it's very, what's the word they use? Stately, or, I look, sophisticated or whatever with this gray hair. I like my gray hair. Well, you may like it, but that don't mean that you should ignore it, because that's a sign that your body is trying to tell you that it needs something. Graying hair is actually a sign of a copper deficiency. That's right. A copper deficiency leads to gray hair. And you will find that if you give your body what it needs, it will reverse your hair color back to its natural color without even dyes, just by giving your body what it needs, namely nutrition. Now, before y'all go run out there and start sucking on copper, no, it doesn't work that way. But if you get copper that's absorbable by your body and you couple that with selenium, because the two work together, your hair will naturally revert back to its color, its natural color. But it's not just about aesthetics. Because if you ignore that gray, that signal that your body is giving you, you could very well end up with something like an aneurysm because of that nutritional deficiency. So it's not just a matter of how it looks. Because even I know some women who say, oh, I love my patch of gray. I think it's gorgeous. Well, it might look good. I tell you, your hair look bad. I know some people with beautiful gray hair. But they should not ignore that, because that's their body's way of telling them that it needs something. And I know people think that that's a natural or normal part of aging. But I know of people at the age of 14 with gray hair. So if that was a natural part of aging, why is a 14-year-old walking around with gray hair? It's because of a lack of nutrition. And it should not go ignored, because ignoring it means that you are potentially setting yourself up for a big health challenge down the road. So that's just a little tip. You don't have to look like the Crypt Keeper as you age. You can age naturally and still maintain a healthy, youthful look. You don't have to go the route of going under the knife and putting your life at risk to get these results. You just got to put in the work. Now, one of the things that people plague with, I shouldn't say it because I don't want to seem like aging is like a disease or a curse or anything. It's aging is a normal part of life. You get older or you die young. So if you are blessed enough to continue to live, then it just makes sense that you would want to do so in the healthiest body possible. And a lot of times when you see people who you know should not look as old and break down as they look, you know that they're not, one, getting adequate nutrition, two, they have some kind of condition or disease, possibly because of the fact that they're not getting adequate nutrition. Three, they probably carry themselves real hard. Because I see some girls now, some young ladies half my age, and they look so break up because they carry themselves so hard. But if you are not being exposed to some kind of toxin, because toxins can't age you quickly. When I was being exposed to toxic mold, oh my God, I looked beyond my age. That thing was aging me like nothing, like crazy. Once I got out of the toxic environment and I started to heal my body and started to really, ramp up on the right nutrition and healing like that, etc., then I started to get some of my youthful look back. But if you had seen me at the time when I was going through that sickness, boy, that thing was aging me rapidly. I remember sometime after I discovered that I was being exposed to toxic mold, and I got out of it and I started doing what I needed to do to rid my body of it and all that. I saw someone who came to the property where I was working at the time, and they had seen me when I was going through that. And then they saw me again sometime later, and they said, Michelle, what are you doing? And I said, what do you mean? And they said, the last time I saw you, you were looking so old. And now you are looking so much younger. What are you doing? What's your secret? How does it seem that you're turning back the hands of time? And I had to explain to them, I said, well, you know, I was being exposed to a toxin and I didn't know. And that was sucking the life out of me. But after I discovered that's what was going on, and I got out of the environment, and I started to heal my body, and started with all this nutrition, then I started to get, I started to not look as old as I was looking when I was going through that. So toxins and disease will definitely age you. But if you can get out of the toxic environment and you can reverse whatever disease it is that you're dealing with, you'd be amazed at how your body is intelligent enough to bounce back. You just got to put in the effort. Now, one of the things that happens when you get older and you're neglecting your body, or you're just not paying the kind of attention that you should be, is that your skin becomes less elastic. What do I mean? If you get an elastic band and you pull it, it'll snap right back if you let one end go, right? But if that gets stretched out long enough and often enough, it won't snap back as much. It won't spring back as much. Well, as we age, this is what happens to our skin. Our skin, when you're younger, your face is nice and naturally, I don't want to say plump, but it's filled out. And as you get older, the skin becomes less and less elastic. And so you get that droop that happens, not just on the face, but everywhere. And one of the things that you tend to see as you get older is that loose, I call it old women's arms, where you get that loose skin at the bottom of the arms, especially that jiggly skin. I gotta give you a joke. When my mother was alive, I used to tease my mother a lot about the way that her body was looking. So I would say, my mother's name was Yvonne. I would say, Yvonne, girl, what happened to you? How your thighs look like this? Oh, Yvonne, girl, how you get so white droop like that? And she would just say, child, your time will come. And she was so right. Because sometimes I look in the mirror and I said, oh my God, this is Yvonne's body. So you got to work at it, people. You can't just give up and give in. You got to work at it. Now, how do we deal with the loose skin? You can deal with it naturally. You don't have to go and get things cut off and go under the knife to get this done. There are some things, though, that will cause your skin to be droopy. So in this clip, and again, we're going back to Dr. Eric Berg on the series of clips, we're talking about the causes of that loose skin. One of the reasons why you look in the mirror and you see your mother or your father. Here's why.
What exactly is loose skin? Well, your skin has been overstretched to the point where it has not come back to its original form. It's like taking this rubber band and stretching it out, but the rubber band doesn't come back to the original form. So what is going on with that? Well, there's two main problems. A problem with your collagen and also a deeper fiber called elastin, which is supposed to give the collagen some elasticity. And so the question people have is, should I just start eating more collagen? Will that help? Typically, it is not a lack of the consumption of collagen that causes this problem. Usually this problem comes from getting older. Losing a lot of weight can produce loose skin. Excessive sun exposure, going through pregnancy, smoking has a risk factor. Being a diabetic can give you a lot of loose skin, or even going through a lot of stress can create a lot of breakdown of these collagen fibers. So let's just dive into all the different component parts and the things that you can start doing immediately. Let's start with hormones, okay? You have two different sets of hormones. You have those hormones that build up your collagen and elastin, and then you have hormones that break down the collagen and connective tissue within the skin. And the main hormone that does that is cortisol. And cortisol is a catabolic hormone, which means it breaks tissue down. It breaks proteins down. And collagen and elastin is protein. So, of course, you have the stress component that activates cortisol. On the flip side, you have hormones that do the opposite. They're anabolic hormones, like growth hormone, which is also everything about anti-aging and burning fat. But growth hormone has a very specific purpose into helping proteins grow, muscle, collagen, connective tissue, etc. And there's three main ways to spike growth hormone. Number one, high intensity exercise training with specific emphasis on intensity. The more intense you do this exercise, the more stimulation of growth hormone you're going to create. So what would that be? Well, sprinting, hopping on some type of elevation that's called plyometrics, spin bike, anything that involves intensity. But the key is keeping it short so you don't overtrain. Thus, high intensity interval training, right? So you're not going to do sustained high intensity. You're going to do short bursts of high intensity with lots of rest in between. So you might rest for 2, 3, 4, 5 days, making sure that inflammation and that recovery is happening. Also, what inhibits growth hormone is glucose. So this is why you need to be on a low carb ketogenic diet. Now, the other important factor with growth hormone is getting enough sleep, which also crosses over to helping you with the stress.
Now, you notice that he would have said that cortisol contributes to the loss of collagen. Cortisol is the stress hormone. Cortisol is what is released when we are facing stressful situations. Back in the days of the caveman, you needed that burst of cortisol because you could be facing some serious dangers. Either you're being chased by a lion, there was some stressful situation that you had to deal with. So you had to either run or you had to fight to save your life, right? So you needed that burst of cortisol to either give you the energy to run or to fight off that animal that was trying to make you its lunch. Okay, so they were, their cortisol was high, but they were burning it off because that stress was necessary to save their lives. Well, here's the challenge. Nowadays, instead of being chased by a lion, you are working with the boss from hell. Or you got a spouse that every single day grates on your last nerve. Or you got these children that's stressing you out. Or you got all these bills that you can't. So the stress is constant. It's not just interval stress where every now and again you need this cortisol to run or fight. No, every single day now you're dealing with this acute stress. So that cortisol that is constantly being secreted is now causing your collagen to break down a lot faster. Now, he did say that taking collagen orally is not necessarily yet the answer. I do take collagen orally, and it has made a huge difference. There are 5 different types of collagen, and one of them is really good for bones and joints, and that has helped me tremendously. With my bone and joint health. You have another one that's good for your skin and your nails and your hair. I do take collagen orally, and I do recommend that you do as well, because collagen is really very, very good for anti-aging and keeping your body young and able to deal with that stress. One of the things that the stress does is it impacts hair color. It releases something in the body, a hormone in the body, that causes the hair to gray prematurely. So this is why you see these world leaders, when they go into office, they've got a head full of black hair. By the time they come out, their hair white like Santa Claus. It's because of that stress. So yes, you got to mitigate that stress as much as possible, but you also want to take orally some things that can help you. Okay, so I've already talked about the copper reversing the hair color, but you want to take, I do at least, additional collagen, and you want to do things like exercise or listening to, music or whatever to try to help you to minimize the stress in your life. And exercise is an excellent way to get your body to perk back up again, to get that skin to perk back up again. Okay? So we're going to take a break. On the other side of the break, we're also going to talk about the impact of insulin resistance on your skin and how if you have a blood sugar imbalance or insulin resistance problem, that too can cause premature aging. So we'll talk about that on the other side of the break. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Youngevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Youngevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of Fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, on this Wellness Wednesday. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. Please like and share the show if you haven't already done so. Also streaming live on YouTube, and you can catch us on Cable Bahamas channel 974, or you can download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there. If you'd like to call in or ask a question, the telephone numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or the WhatsApp line for messages and calls. It's 801-0271, 801-0271. A huge welcome to all of you who are tuned in by way of radio, whether it's here in New Providence 99.5 FM on your dial. Welcome to all of you tuned in from Grand Bahama and throughout the family of islands. And of course, a huge welcome to all of you who are listening from outside the Bahamas. I really appreciate you being here today. So, the topic today on this Wellness Wednesday: you don't have to die to get looks to die for. And we're talking about, things that people are literally losing their lives over, going to the doctors to get these procedures done, going under the knife, and in some cases losing their lives, or having their bodies so deformed that they have to go back to another doctor to try to salvage or fix that which was botched to begin with. So this show today is to let you know that you do have options. You don't have to go through that if you just be willing to put in the work. A little bit of exercise here and there, some nutrition, making sure that you're not being exposed to a toxin, getting sufficient rest, the right types of exercise. There are things that you can do that can help you to either reverse the signs of aging or avoid them as long as possible, delay them, I should say. It's not just a normal part of aging. There are people out there who prove that. People like Ernestine Shepherd, who is well into her 80s and is still teaching aerobics class and teaching people how to, this woman got the body of a woman half her age. So, and they're just one of several people many people, I should say, not several, many people who have chosen to do something about it, and as a result, have seemed to find the fountain of youth, proving that you don't have to age poorly. I have a message from someone on WhatsApp that says, I joined late. Interesting show. The face has muscles just like the body does. Around 20, I've been exercising my entire life and recently started face yoga leading up to my 60th this year. I'm complimented regularly on my overall appearance because dressing old can age you as well. Well, I did talk earlier on the show about face yoga, something that you can do to exercise the muscles in your face to reverse some of the aging that we see happening. And, let's face it, we live in a world where gravity is reality, and it ain't just, keeping us on the ground in terms of floating in the middle of the air, but it's pulling down stuff too. It's constantly pulling us down. And so if you don't fight against that, things are going to start to sag, because that's just a part of living in an environment with gravity. And if you're not getting sufficient nutrients, etc., collagen, etc., to make sure that your body retains that youthful appearance. Now, there's some things, some habits that some of us have that are contributing to you looking older than you should be looking, earlier than you should be looking. If you are a smoker, for instance, if you smoke cigarettes or if you vape, you know, cigars, whatever, you are aging yourself prematurely. That habit is going to age you, especially around the mouth. You see these people who are chronic smokers and they got all these like lines, wrinkles, or whatever you want to call it, around their mouth. It's because of that habit of smoking, but it will age you in other ways as well. So smoking, if you're trying to retain a youthful look, smoking is not a good idea. But here's another one that most people don't think of that ages you seriously. Sugar. Sugar in your diet is one of the surest ways that you can get old fast. Sugar ages you significantly. And if you are a person who likes syrupy drinks, very, very sweet drinks, or if you got to add a ton of sugar to everything that you do, or you like, you know, sweet desserts, or even a lot of carbs that turn into sugar in the body, then you are contributing to looking older faster. So you want to cut back on sugar significantly. I personally don't even buy sugar. I do not bring sugar into my house. So all of the sugar that I get is from whatever fruits I'm eating, or from time to time if I decide to eat carbs, right? That's where my sugar comes from. I do not buy sugar. I do not buy added sugar. There's enough sugar in the foods that you're buying every day. You just got to read the labels, and you would be shocked to see how much sugar is put in the foods that you're buying every day. Condiments like ketchup, loaded with sugar. So you have to look for a specific ketchup that says on the label less sugar. So there's a lot of places that they hide all of this sugar that you don't expect it to be. And you're saying to yourself, but I don't eat a lot of sugar. But yet you are, because it's in the foods where you don't expect it to be. A word to the wise. For those of you who decide to go gluten-free, make sure you read the labels of those things that you're purchasing to make sure that they haven't loaded it up with sugar to offset it not having gluten. You'd be surprised at how many gluten-free treats. You look on the back and you read that label, and man, where they don't have no gluten, they make up for it in sugar. So you want to be careful not to get too much sugar in your diet. The sugar will age you fast. So it's not surprising then that one of the key causes of that loose, saggy, wrinkly skin is insulin resistance. So here once again is Dr. Eric Berg to talk about insulin resistance, and the way it impacts the elasticity of your skin.
There's another anabolic hormone, anabolic meaning building up proteins, and that is insulin. Insulin induces or triggers new elastin. Remember that type of connective tissue that allows the elasticity in your skin to keep it like a rubber band? Well, insulin triggers that, which is fascinating because you would think just the opposite, because you're probably thinking diabetics. Well, in diabetes type 2, you have a situation where you have insulin resistance. You have a lot of insulin going through the body, but not in the cells, because the cells are resistant. Yet the other parts of the body might have too much insulin. With diabetes and insulin resistance, which is the majority of the population, you have a situation where you have an insulin deficiency, which could definitely create a problem with insulin. So how do you correct this and get more insulin? You basically fix insulin resistance, and you do that with the ketogenic diet, intermittent fasting, and you also do that with exercise. Now, the other problem with insulin resistance is it blocks your ability to get fuel, get nutrients, and receive amino acids. So the very building blocks of protein that you need to build for collagen and elastin are going to be inhibited when you have insulin resistance. So ultimately, part of this plan has to include fixing insulin resistance to be able to then pull in these amino acids and also prevent atrophy, which is a loss of muscle.
So you see that I keep telling you guys, it's all interrelated. Your body is not just one or two or three or four or five systems that stand alone, but it's all interrelated. One thing will impact the other. So you want to watch your blood sugar levels to make sure that they are where they are supposed to be. Looking at a couple of your comments on Facebook, Marissa says lots of collagen. This is what Dr. Burke was talking about. We start losing collagen in our 30s, she says, and exercise using weights. We lose muscles as we age. You got to put effort in. You have to put effort in. Claude says sugar is in everything. Sugar, boy, they put sugar in so many places where you don't expect it to be. So you really, really need to be on the lookout. You need to be vigilant when it comes to that. And understand that carbs turn into sugar in the body. Now, I know a lot of people have issues with the ketogenic diet, and some say the ketogenic diet is unhealthy. We're not talking, it can be if you don't do it right. We're not talking about the unhealthy version of the ketogenic diet, but the ketogenic diet where you are getting nutrients at the same time. Okay? So, healthy keto is what makes the difference, not that unhealthy version of the keto diet. So you've got to make sure, if you're going to do the ketogenic diet, that it is a healthy version of it where you're getting adequate nutrition. How do you do that? You can't get it through the food alone. So you have to supplement. And you've heard me say often on this show the importance of nutrition and making sure that your body has all of the nutrition that it needs to function optimally. So, what is that nutrition? It bears repeating. 90 essential nutrients is what your body needs. 90. So we're talking 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 12 essential fatty acids. Okay? That is just the foundation of good health. That's just the foundation of what your body needs to perform at its best. And when we are not giving our bodies the nutrition that they need, and then on top of that, giving our bodies what they don't need, like that excess sugar, like the oils from the fried foods that cause inflammation in the body, then we are setting ourselves up not just for premature aging, but for disease, which leads to premature aging in many cases. And so, again, it's like this domino effect. One domino goes down, and that is the next one, which is the next one, which is the next one. And before you know it, you've got all these systems that are going wrong in your body, and it starts to show. And you start to look tired and worn and old and broken down. And, people look at you and say, wow, what happened to her? Age has not been kind to her. But what happened to him? Boy, age threw him by, age beat him by. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. It does not have to be that way. You can age gracefully without looking like, somebody twice your age. You can. You don't have to go under the knife to do that. That's what I'm trying to say. These things can be achieved naturally. And that is what this show is all about today. So, we know that stress is one of the causes. We know that you need to be doing exercises to keep your muscles nice and strong, to help hold things up. We know that collagen is an important part of this conversation because collagen helps to keep things looking younger. And if you're losing collagen as you get older, which is, if you're not doing anything to replace it, it's natural that you lose it. And if you ain't replacing it, then it's going to show in your body. But there is sufficient evidence. There are many, many people out there who prove that that is not a normal part of aging because they look amazing and are in fantastic health, even though they are aging. And I'm not saying that you're going to look young forever. It's impossible. You will start to show age. That's, you live on this earth long enough, you eat. Unless you live in some kind of bubble, you are going to be exposed to the stress. You're going to be exposed to environmental toxins. This is the world in which we live. But you can't just give into it and say, oh, man, it is what it is. No. I personally ain't going out without a fight. There is no reason for you to be looking pop down, like the Jamaicans say, old and tired and broken down simply because you're neglecting your body. Or because you're dealing with some kind of condition that you figure you can't do anything about, when truth be told, you can do something about it. And you got to be careful because a lot of the pharmaceutical medications that doctors put people on help to age them as well. Because they stop the body from performing certain functions. And most, if not all of them, have negative side effects that can help to age you. So all of that you need to be considering when you're talking about how to stay younger longer. And again, this is not just about aesthetic, because you would say, why, Michelle, you vain? You don't want to get old. No, it ain't about that. And it's not about that. It's really about health. It's really about health. It's not just about, I'm trying to stay young. No. It is about taking care of this vessel in which you live, because you only get this one. And if you neglect it, and you stay on this earth long enough, you will regret neglecting it. I'm telling you. And it's not just an aesthetic thing. It's not just how you look. How you feel will be impacted as well. Have you noticed that people are younger and younger and younger who are requiring things like hip replacement surgery, knee replacement surgery, what only quote unquote old people used to need back in the day? Now you're seeing kids in their 30s, 40s having to have hip replacement and knee replacement surgery. It's because they're not giving their bodies the nutrients that they need to generate or regenerate that which is being lost. So nutrition is definitely a very important part of this conversation. You cannot reverse the hands of Father Time without it. You have to look at that. Now, there's all the things called cofactors that you want to consider when it comes to why your body starts to go south. And here once again is Dr. Eric Berg to talk about those cofactors that play a significant role in premature aging.
There are cofactors, there are nutrients that help the development of collagen and help the creation of elastin. And the most important cofactor, okay, is vitamin A. And I'm not talking about what most people think about vitamin A, which is beta carotene, which is the precursor. I'm talking about the active form of vitamin A, retinol, which only comes from animal products, right? Like egg yolks, cod liver oil, fatty fish, butter, versus spinach, which has the beta carotene, but that has to convert into the active form. And a lot of people don't convert very much of it. Unfortunately, they changed the definition of vitamin A to mean both the precursor, beta carotene, as well as retinol. But they're two completely different molecules. So vitamin A is a really important cofactor for building up collagen. In fact, all of the fat-soluble vitamins are really important in your skin. And so this is why going on a low-fat diet is very bad for skin health. There's a diet that I came across while I was in practice. People were doing this diet called Ideal Protein, right? Well, was it ketogenic? Yes, it was low carb, but it was also low fat. Typically, the healthy version of the ketogenic diet is not low fat. Okay, it's higher amounts of fat and moderate protein. In this diet, it was low fat, low carb, and the protein that was recommended were in these packaged foods like soy protein isolates. So you have this lean processed protein that they were giving these people. And what I noticed, a person in this program, they just look older with their skin. The skin looked very unhealthy. It looked like it aged. It was dried out. It looked wrinkly. And so did the hair. So you can tell a lot about what's going on internally by just looking on the external part of someone's body. And the more low fat you do, the less fat-soluble vitamins you're going to have. And your skin needs a good amount of fat. The next cofactor that's really important in collagen and elastin, especially, is iron. But not your regular iron, the heme iron, which is the more bioavailable iron, which is in red meat, it's in shellfish, it's not in vegetables. That's the non-heme form of iron. You need the bioavailable form. So just the fact that I mentioned these two cofactors tells us what kind of diet you need. You need to do animal products that are not lean, okay, that are a bit more fatty to get both the retinol as well as the iron that you need. So if someone is going to do a plant-based vegan diet, they better figure out how they're going to get these key nutrients. I'm not saying it's not possible. You can do it. It's just a lot more difficult. Unfortunately, a lot of people who do plant-based end up eating too many grains, the omega-6 fatty acids, which just fill their body up with inflammation and worsen the situation. All right, the last cofactor is vitamin C. And I want to mention something about vitamin C. Vitamin C, well, you probably heard that it's connected to your collagen, but most people are taking the synthetic version of vitamin C. It's not the type that comes from nature. So the best way to get your vitamin C is to make sure that you're either doing a food-based concentrate or you're doing foods that are high in vitamin C. And one of the best foods for that would be sauerkraut. Sauerkraut, hands down, has more vitamin C than any other food. It's like 10 times the amount of vitamin C that our bodies require. But you can also get vitamin C from peppers, from berries, things like that.
Okay, so I want to give you a little bit of homework, and this is just to inspire you to do what you need to do to deal with this situation. I want you to look up a couple of people on YouTube. One of them is she goes by the name of Chef Babette, Babette. Chef Babette is a woman in her 70s who don't look a day over 35, at most 40. 40 for days. She would put girls half her age to shame. That woman naturally looks amazing. She's just one of many. So look up Chef Babette. And there's several out there. Like I said, she's not the only one. There are quite a few. But know that there is something you can do about this, people. Don't just give in and give up. I have a message that's coming in by way of WhatsApp that says, looking fit and staying healthy takes effort. Too many people are just plain old lazy. I can't disagree with that. You know, you get tired, especially if you're not taking nutrients. You're probably tired. And you're probably thinking, energy for all that. Well, one of the reasons for you may not have energy is because your body's crying out for nutrition. And you would be amazed at what your body will do if you give it the nutrition that it needs. It will spring back into action. Your body is incredibly intelligent, knows how to regenerate itself. Now, it doesn't matter your age. You could spring back, but you gotta be a part of the process. You gotta help your body get it done. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna have more on this show. You don't have to die to get looks to die for. That or more on the other side of the break. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global paradigm shift will return after this.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all: schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the Mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM on your radio. Michelle Malcolm here in your company on this Wellness Wednesday. Our topic today, you don't have to die to get lips to die for. How many people have literally lost their lives or been maimed trying to achieve these looks that these celebrities they see on TV have, when they could just simply do something about it naturally, get the same look naturally, without risking their lives. Okay, so how do you get to be a part of the show today? I'd love to hear from you. The telephone number to call out 3260271. 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or the WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 242-801-0271. That's 801-0271. They're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM Facebook pages. Please like and share the show. It's not too late to do that. Also streaming live to YouTube on our channels. And speaking of channels, yes, we are coming to you live on the Cable Bahamas channel 974. And of course, there's radio. So thanks so much for all of you who are tuned in by radio. Welcome to you all. And of course, you can also download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and there. Okay. So, whether it be the Brazilian butt lift or any other procedure, sometimes things can go terribly wrong. And the point that I'm trying to make on this show today is all of that can be avoided if you're just simply willing to take the time to do it naturally, the effort to do it naturally. Side note, I have to give you all this joke. You know, I'm big in the world of pageantry here in the Bahamas. I've been involved in that for many, many years. And a huge part of pageantry in certain cultures, not ours, but in certain cultures like the Latinas, Latin America, oh, for God's sake, they believe in that cosmetic surgery. Certain countries, it's almost a requirement that you be willing to go under the knife to get the perfect look that they want you to have. And they go to such degrees that in order to get a smaller waistline, sometimes they will remove a rib. You heard me right. Remove a rib just so these young ladies could get a smaller waistline. I think that's madness. But in some countries, that is almost expected, that they go to whatever lengths they need to go to in terms of that cosmetic surgery. So whether that means a nose job or Brazilian butt lift or removing ribs or liposuction, whatever it takes. And by the time they finish with you, you don't look nothing like your original self, but that's another show. But many, many years ago, 2010 to be exact, when Bernica Bassett was Miss Bahamas. This was the first year that we worked with one of the world's most successful pageant coaches, a lady by the name of Grace Montesia. Grace Montesia is a woman who, she's from Puerto Rico, but she was hired for many, many years by the Miss Venezuela organization to prepare or train or coach their girls for their international competitions. And It's under Grace's uh, leadership or Grace's training that I think Venezuela won like four Miss Universe titles under Grace's hand. But anyway, she's responsible for I think 4 or 5 Miss Universe winners and at least 5 Miss World winners. So we were really privileged to get her on our team. And Bonica was the very first girl that she worked with. I have to tell you such a funny story. So we had to fly to Florida to meet with her for her to decide if she wanted to work with us. Because, you know, we wasn't doing no favor by going to her. She was doing a favor by taking us on as clients. And so Bonica and I walked into the room where she was. She and Ashley Lauren were a team back then. Ashley Lauren, those of you who are into fashion would know that Ashley Lauren is an international fashion designer. This is before Ashley launched her fashion line. Right back then, Ashley was just sort of a person who would put people together in the world of pageantry. So she was the one who would have introduced me to Grace or certain designers for clothing and all this kind of stuff. So we walk into this room, and there's Grace sitting down. She's just observing everything. She ain't saying nothing. But I could see her looking Bonica up and down, head to toe, just looking at her. Not saying anything. Ashley was doing all of the talking. So when Grace finally decided to speak, Grace said, "How many surgeries have you had?" So Bonica was like, "Surgery? I haven't had any surgery." Grace says, "You were born like this?" So Bonica says, "Yeah, I ain't never had any surgery." They didn't believe her. Ashley walks over and she starts examining her hairline, trying to find a scar for where this girl would have had a facelift or something. Because they couldn't believe that she was naturally that beautiful. So she was looking behind the ears, looking at her hairline, trying to find a scar. And she was like, "Oh my God, Grace, she really was born like this. She doesn't have any surgery scars." So in some cultures, even young women, especially in the world of pageantry, were expected to go under the knife. In some countries like Venezuela, I don't know if they do it so much anymore because Osmel, who was responsible for Miss Venezuela at the time, he was very, very big on surgery. To the degree where they had their own cosmetic surgeon on their team. Okay? So all those Venezuelan beauties of that era that we saw at Miss Universe and thought, "Oh my God, where do they find these girls?" They find them right on that cosmetic surgeon table. They made them into what they wanted them to be. We never forced any of our girls to go under the knife. We just, we never did that. But in some cultures, this is just a normal part of life. In some cultures, like Venezuela, for instance, you don't even have to be a beauty queen to think that you need the edge that cosmetic surgery is going to give you, because they put such a heavy emphasis on physical beauty in these cultures that you go and get a facelift and a breast job and a nose job and a tummy tuck just so you could be beautiful, to have that edge to go get yourself a career in television or whatever. This is what they do. So you have some cultures where this is absolutely accepted, right? And then you have all of these influencers, like the Kardashians, who have these certain body types. And you have all these impressionable people who are watching these people and want to live their life and think that they have to go under the knife to get the Kim Kardashian body. Absolutely ludicrous. Okay? because you have to ask yourself the question, are you willing to go through what they went through to get that body that they have? It is not necessary. You can achieve it naturally. You can. But most people don't want to go through that. They don't want to go through the couple of weeks of exercise. They don't want to go through changing their diet. They just want this instant gratification. Instant gratification. That instant gratification can cost you your life, or can cause you to be so maimed that you're ashamed to go out, because people can be looking at you saying, geez, what happened to her? What happened to him? And it's not just women. More and more men are opting to get cosmetic surgery as well. So my show today is to show you that you can do these things naturally. Now, in this clip, Dr. Berg is going to talk more about exercise and intermittent fasting and a procedure, or I don't know if I should call it a procedure, but this is something that I was exposed to when I was trying to rid myself of the toxic mold, the poisons I was trying to detox. And one of the things that they had me do quite a bit of was something called hot and cold therapy. I did not know until coming across this video that you could do hot and cold for your face to help to lift that back up. I was like, what? Because the hot and cold that I did was from the neck down to get your body to flush out toxins. So here now is Dr. Berg once again talking about the role of exercise, intermittent fasting, and hot and cold therapy.
Exercise is a necessity, but make sure you don't overtrain. When you exercise, you're creating new vascularization. It's called neovascularization, and you're getting new blood vessels where you're carrying more nutrients and more circulation, which is what you want to do. You're also going to build up more muscles just underneath the skin to fill in this gap that occurred from the overstretching of the skin. So it will fill up the space and give you a nice appearance that there's less loose skin. And of course, exercise will stimulate the growth hormone if you do the high intensity interval training. And then there's prolonged fasting. Okay, prolonged fasting gives you what's called an epigenetic effect on skin, because you're putting your body into an autophagy state where it's recycling old damaged proteins. And let me explain old damaged proteins. When someone has insulin resistance, or they're a pre-diabetic or a diabetic, they have a lot of glycation going on. What is glycation? Well, it's a situation where you're eating too many carbs, and this protein is combining with the sugar to make the protein unavailable. So a diabetic has a lot of glycated proteins, and that's how they measure it. In A1C, for example, is a situation when you have this average blood sugars for 3 months. So we have this interaction between a certain amount of sugar with your protein in your blood, and it's creating damage. Okay. And you can measure that with this test, and you can see how much or how little you have of this glycated effect. But that damage or glycation effect also happens in the eyes, and the kidney, and the arteries, and the brain, and the nerves, all over. But it also happens in the skin. So if you have glycation going on in the collagen and elastin, it's going to make that tissue unavailable, and it's not going to stretch and be elastic anymore. It also happens in your arteries too, which can lead to high blood pressure. So the cool thing is that you can get rid of some of this glycation by doing prolonged fasting, like 3 days or longer. And when you do that, your body starts to clean up this damaged protein and recycle it and rejuvenate it. So that's a really cool thing that you can do. And the next thing is part of the last two things I mentioned, which is basically you're creating a hermetic effect, which you're adding a little bit of stress to the body to cause the body to adapt and become stronger. So prolonged fasting gives you a hermetic effect. So does exercise. But there's other things too, like heat and cold. Putting ice cold water on your face and then putting warm or hot water in your face back and forth can create this hormetic effect, creating this hermetic stimulation of your skin cells and causing the tissue to tone. But again, that's for loose skin on the face. But what if it's on the rest of the body? Well, then you're going to have to do it for the rest of the body.
I said the hot and cold therapy is something that I used when I was trying to detox the body. But I did not know that it would have this effect in terms of tightening up that skin. So I was like, I need to start trying the hot and cold therapy on my face. Who knew? You learn so much when you're preparing for these shows. I did not know that could be done because, like I said, in all of the hot and cold therapy that I have done in the past, it was sitting in a hot tub, and then a cold tub, and then a hot tub, and then a cold tub, back and forth. But from the neck down, so the head will always be exposed. But from the neck down is where the therapies that I have done, that you're making sure that they're submerged in the hot water or the cold water. When I say hot water, don't burn your skin, people. Use common sense. I tell you, go scald your face and then blame me. Hot enough that you can stand it, but not so hot that you're going to scald your face. Use common sense. But if you do, at least for the body, the idea was to do it back and forth at least 6 times. And you should be under a hot water for at least twice as long as the cold water. At least that is what applied to the rest of the body. So I would think that the same thing would apply to the skin on your face. So I definitely, I'm going to try that out for my face as well. All right, so let's take our final break, and then on the other side, we're going to talk about sun exposure and amino acids. Sun exposure and amino acids. So stay with us. Last break, and then we'll close out looking at how sun exposure and amino acids can impact your body's ability to stay younger longer. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Youngevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Youngevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
.5.
Back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. This is Wellness Wednesday, and the topic for today is you don't have to die to get looks to die for. How to do naturally what some people are literally risking their lives to do under the knife. You don't have to go that route, people. You can naturally reverse the signs of aging. You can naturally do some of the things that attain some of the looks that you hope to without putting your life at risk. Okay, just a side note about exercise. One of the things that I want to say is that there's this thing called muscle memory. And even if you find that you are a person who exercised regularly and your muscles got all toned up and everything, and then you stop for whatever reason, your muscles have memory. So when you decide to start up again, it won't be as hard as it would have been when you very first started, because your muscles remember what it's like to be that fit, and your muscle will revert to that memory, and it'll be a bit easier for you to get back into shape. So I want to encourage all of you out there listening to the show today to definitely incorporate exercise into all of this. All right, sun exposure and amino acids. How do they impact your skin's ability to bounce back? Well, let's find out.
Now, I want to mention something about sun for a second, because too much sun is very bad on your skin. And what I mean by that is if you expose to the sun to the point of burn, but a little bit of sun, which is the point before you burn, is a good thing on a regular basis, because it creates a hermetic effect that can actually stimulate healthy skin. But that also depends on how much melanin you have, the color of your skin. And if you're very, very fair complected, you're going to burn very easily. So that is the other variable you have to watch out for. So I covered a lot of different things that you can do to improve your skin right now. Pick one or two of them and just get started and keep working on it over time. But out of all these points, I think the most important one for your skin would be prolonged fasting. Now, I have a video on this, which I also include an additional thing you should do if you have loose skin, if you're doing prolonged fasting, and that is taking certain amino acids. So that way, you're not going to really break the effectiveness of your fast, because you're not eating like protein per se. You're eating the building blocks, which is very low calorie. So you can get the benefits of fasting, but also get the benefits of the amino acids that can help build this connective tissue.
So remember, your body needs 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 3 essential fatty acids. So you want to make sure that you're getting sufficient healthy fats in your diet. And you want to make sure that the nutrients that you are taking, along with that healthy diet, because I say it all the time and it bears repeating, there's no amount of nutrition that can outdo a poor diet. If you are not willing to clean up your diet, then this whole 2 hours would have been a waste. Your diet is extremely important in this conversation. You are what you eat, literally. So you have to give your body healthy options to work with. And that means eating healthy. That means eliminating foods that are doing damage to your body every single day. That means eliminating habits that are doing damage to your body. Without doing that, then this is an exercise in futility. But if you clean up the diet, if you get rid of the toxins, so for instance, if you're working in an environment where there's a lot of toxins in the air, you want to see how you can get out of that, or at least convince your employer that they need to do something to clean up the environment. Whether it's mold or anything else, you don't want to constantly stay in that, because that will age you like it's crazy how much toxins will age you. So make sure you're in a good clean environment, clean up the diet, exercise, get sufficient rest, nutrify the body. Nutrify the body. Making sure that you are getting adequate amounts of not just any old vitamins and minerals, etc. Because a lot of them, you're not absorbing them because of the way that they're formulated. And it's not about what's on the label, it's about the absorbability rate of what's on the label. Just because it's on the label doesn't mean that your body is absorbing it. And if your body's not absorbing it, then you just wasting money. So you want to get a very high grade, medical grade, potent, absorbable nutrient. And that is what is going to help your body to reverse not just aging, but many of the diseases, the chronic non-communicable diseases that people are battling with, could easily be reversed by giving their bodies the nutrition that they need. Simple nutrition and stopping the damage. Stop doing the damage. If you do that, I'm telling you, you're going to see a huge difference. Many of you are walking around right now looking way older than you need to be looking, simply because of pure neglect and not giving your bodies what they need to thrive. And believe me, you make those simple changes, you will be amazed at how intelligent your body is and how you too can reverse the signs of aging and not have to die to get looks to die for. That's my time for today. Thank you so much to all of you who are tuned into the show. Please like and share the show so that more people can get this information. If you are interested in learning more about your health and healing, I invite you to go to the official Michelle Malcolm page, not the one with my profile, but more so my the page for what do you call it? Personality. That's not what they call it, but you know what I mean. That's the one you want to go to, the one with my hair straightened. And on top of that page, there's a link to do the health evaluation, where you can fill out an online survey, and that will help us to determine what you need to do to achieve optimal health. I'd be more than happy as a certified holistic health coach to help you with that process. Tomorrow, we're going to be dealing with carbon credits. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me to do a show on that. I didn't want to just rush into it. I wanted to make sure it's done thoroughly. And so tomorrow is the day we're going to address that. So be sure to tune in. Until then, I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, God willing, right here on Global 99.5 FM. Take care.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and